Hello, this is Tisha from Meadows and Mortar by Tishia, and I am on the Paint Couture YouTube page. Today I'm going to be redoing this little entertainment center. This is just from a big box store, and it has that like laminate style over top of it. So I wanted to make sure that I used a good gripping primer on this to make sure that my paint adheres really nicely. So I come in with Paint Couture's 2-in-1 primer. I'm using it in gray, but you can use whichever one that you want. I use white a lot, but the gray works fine. I'm going to be doing decoupage, so I just wanted to make sure that I was using a lighter color underneath there because I want to make sure that my decoupage really shows through nicely. The decoupage that I'm going to be using is called Magenta Moo. This is from Whimsical Designs. I will be posting a link in the description box where you can get this. You can get this at the same place that you get your Paint Couture paint products, and you can get it just shipped all at the same time from the same place. It is easy peasy. When I'm doing decoupage, I typically like to rip the edges up a little bit. This is just going to help your paint to blend in a little more seamlessly. It's not going to look just like you have a poster sticking on something because your eye isn't going to be drawn to those straight lines. So that's what you're seeing me do right here, is I'm just cutting off edges of it, and then I'm just tearing little like jagged areas to make this blend in a little more. Now what I like to do with my decoupage paper is I like to flip it over and use a water mister bottle, and I like to get the back of the paper really moist. What this is going to do is this is going to release those fibers, and it's going to make those fibers on the tissue swell up. And this is going to keep you from having a reaction once that it hits that extreme guard, because that's what I use as my bonding agent. I just put that down over everything that I'm going to be adhering this to. And whenever you have that wet paper and it hits that wet surface that it's coming in contact with, that's not going to freak out. That paper, you're not putting a dry paper over a wet surface that's going to make it wrinkle up, because those fibers have already swollen, and so that you're going to get less wrinkles. Now whenever you do it this way, it is going to be more prone to tearing. So you want to make sure that you're using light pressure, you're using a gentle hand on this, just to make sure that everything's going to go on nicely and that you're not going to rip right through your paper. Now there are people that use actual decoupage tools. I am not one of those people. If you want to use those, there are plenty of those out there on the market. They are plastic on one side, and then the other side is kind of covered with this felt type stuff, and you can use that to smooth your paper down. But for me, what I have found whenever I'm using my papers, as long as I mist the back of it with water, then put my extreme guard on, I can use the pads of my fingers to smooth it all down, and I get, most of the time I get essentially no wrinkles. Every once in a while I may get a few small ones, but you never have like big huge wrinkles in it. It's almost negligible, the amount that you'll get on there. As long as you take your time, you're going slowly, you're not in a rush for things, and you're using a good high quality decoupage paper. Now there are plenty of decoupage paper companies out there, but I do have to say these that you can get on the All Paint Products website, they are top notch. Whimsical Designs papers are top notch. The AB Studios, top notch. So just make sure that you're using a good quality paper. The hardest part with this piece is, you see how it has like those paneled fronts on there? So you can see me using the tips of my fingers just to push inside of those grooves to make sure that it's all seated down, so that I don't have like big chunks of the paper that aren't adhered to the piece. Because if you don't take your fingers and push those down into that adhesive, then it's not going to be stuck to that part of the piece. It's just going to be kind of hanging out over top of it, and it'll be easier for it to snag and pull off of there. Because what you're wanting is for this to become a part of your piece of furniture. You want to make sure that it is adhered down, because you're going to sandwich it in there. So you have the extreme guard on the bottom, then you're going to have your paper, and then you're going to have more extreme guard on the top. That's going to sandwich it all in there, and you're not going to be able to get this decoupage paper off of there unless you sand it off. Now you can see down here at the bottom that I did go ahead and rip the rest of those edges off, so that I have, you know, not that clean cut line like I was talking about where it looks just like a poster is on there. Once that everything is seated on there nicely and it is positioned the way that you want it, then you're going to come in with more of your extreme guard and put it over the top. Now you can see where this has like those little paneled areas on there. I'm wanting to make sure that I have it seated down inside of those lines nicely, but you don't want it to be gathered up where you have big white chunks on there. You want it to make sure that you're smoothing it out. So I go and put it on there pretty heavily, and then I take a light hand and I smooth it all out, going in one direction, that being from top to bottom or side to side, just whatever your piece calls for. And you just want to really smooth it out nicely. Now you can see that I had a few pieces of scrap that was left over, and I was like, well, I don't want to just leave that not in use. So I took little pieces of it and then just placed them in random areas on here just to kind of add some more filler color in. And then that way, whenever I use my paint to go in and out of the picture and onto the piece of furniture, it will look a little more cohesive because I have these extra little pieces of the print that are going to be poking through too. So I'm just stretching my design to make the design go farther. Instead of it just being in that one little area, I am going to have little pops of that design, the background colors and stuff coming in other areas. So don't think that you can't piece and place your pieces of decoupage paper. Just because you have to fit it to a piece of furniture and you have to rip it up a little bit doesn't mean that you need to throw away all those scraps. This right here is a perfect example of being able to make the best of your whole entire piece. Once that everything is completely dry, and I mean completely dried, so you're thinking overnight here, you want to come in with a razor blade and cut in between any groove so that you can open up your drawers and cabinets and whatever that you need to do and cut off any of the excess. Make sure that you're always using a new razor blade, because if you use a dull razor blade, you're just going to get yourself in a mess. You are going to have jagged pieces everywhere. Now my three main colors that I'm going to be using here are Dark Sea, Peacock, and Midnight Blue. These are all, of course, from Paint Couture paint, and these are from the mineral paint line. So this is an all-in-one paint. It has your primer, your paint, and your top coat all in one. But remember, I had this slick, shiny surface on there, and I needed a brighter, whiter undertone on here for my decoupage paper. So I already have a primer on there. So it's not necessary for me to use a mineral paint. I could use a chalk style paint if I wanted, but these colors that I had in these particular paints, they just worked well with this print, so I just decided to use these. But don't think that you have to use the mineral paint. You can use the chalk style paint if that's what you prefer to use. And I'm also using the Paint Couture paint brushes. These are nice synthetic brushes. These are going to give you a smooth finish every single time. I love how soft these are. They clean up really nicely. These will last you a lifetime. There are a lot of brushes out there on the market, and a lot of good brushes too. I really like clean gone brushes. But honestly, these Paint Couture brushes, they're cheaper, they're softer, and I found that they last just as long as you take good care of them. So these are really an awesome price point, and you get a good quality brush. So if you haven't checked out the Paint Couture brand paint brushes, I highly recommend you do that. Now you can see right here that I'm using my finger. I'm just finger painting on here. So with the Whimsicale Designs papers, there are a lot of brush strokes in it, a lot of thick brush strokes, so that it's easier for furniture artists to blend in their paint. And Kelly, who makes these, she does that purposefully. So you can see me just using my finger just to smudge some of this stuff in and out of the picture so that I'm getting more of these colors from Paint Couture onto my actual print, so that it doesn't look like I just have a print and then paint. It's going to look more cohesive because I have these exact colors from the outside flowing into my photo as well. So I just do some little abstract colors, just some little stringy pieces here and there, some little smudges, but I'm just wanting to incorporate all of these colors all over the piece so that it's not as noticeable that the print isn't all over the piece. And of course, if you don't like finger painting, then you could use a small little artist paintbrush, or you could get a napkin or something just to dip in your paint and use those. But I feel like with the style of painting that's on this particular print, I feel like finger painting works fine. And it's fun and it's cathartic, and it's just cool to do stuff like this that you wouldn't think would make a beautiful product, but it does every single time. So once that I have it all blended in together, Then I'm going to come do my main colors over the main surface, and I'm using Peacock and Dark Sea on this, and I'm just blending these two colors together, and this is what the majority of my piece is going to be. So these colors, of course, are in the decoupage that I've already blended in, but I'm just wanting these colors to really shine through. Again, I'm using one of the Paint Couture paint brushes on this, and these just lay down so nice and smooth. You're going to have a beautiful finished product. This paint levels beautifully, and then with this synthetic brush, you're going to get excellent results every time. And like I said before, there is a link in the description box where you can get all of these products, the paint brushes, the decoupage, everything that I'm using here, you can find on the Paint Couture website on the On Paint products. There is a link that you can get every single bit of this from. And if you're not already following the Paint Couture Paint Company on YouTube, please go over and do that. Just go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you're not following them on Facebook, please hop on over there and follow them. And also, if you're not following me, my name is Meadows and Mortar by Tishia. I would love to have you on all of my socials as well. I have a YouTube page and I have a Facebook page, and I would love to have you along with me. I do furniture and decor. I use a lot of Paint Couture products. I really do love this company. I love their owners. I love the products, and they are just an excellent paint to work with. They have different styles of paint. If you're wanting a chalk style paint, they have excellent ones. If you're wanting this mineral all-in-one type paint, then they have that as well. And also, they have beautiful metallics. So you can see that I'm using this teal metallic paint on here on this stencil. I'm using this Redesign with Prima stencil, but you can use any kind of stencil that you wanted. But this is just going to give a nice, beautiful metallic sheen on here. And it's just going to be, you can see that they're the same kind of color, but it's just going to be a little bit of a variation, so that whenever you look at it in the light, you're going to tilt your head one way, and then you're going to see a little bit of shimmer poke through, and it is beautiful. They have a ton of metallic style paints, and I mean, any color that you could want, they have it. And these are durable, they're beautiful, and they are long lasting, and I love the way that this turned out. And it's one of these things that I wish that you could see on camera. It's so beautiful in person. And then I just come in with an antiquing wax on the edges of my piece. There are many different brands of waxes that you can use just for little embellishments. If you don't have wax, or if you don't like to use wax, then you can absolutely use a glaze in that place, and it would look beautiful as well. And again, to recap, here is this cabinet from a big box store, and it is just plain. It's pretty, but it's plain. And here is our new personalized one-of-a-kind cabinet, and it is just so cute and sassy and full of class and full of just personality, and I really do love this. I hope that you guys learned something. If there's something that you didn't understand, just hop on down in the comment box and just let me know, and I'll try to answer questions as best as I can. But guys, thank you all so much for being here. I can't wait to see you all next time, and you all have a great day.